It is an early, chilly 43 degrees here in Philadelphia as 21-ranked Yale is taking on the Temple Owls, who are undefeated to start this season. The Owls are on a hot streak to start out, looking to stay undefeated against Yale today. And we might see a little bit of history as Katie Shallow has 98 career cause turnovers, which is tied for most in program history. So one more and she breaks that all-time record for Temple as Temple comes off a win against Delaware, winning 13-8. Going back to Katie Shallow, she has been a big part of this team as she won AAC Defensive Player of the Week 2 weeks in a row to start off the year. And as we look towards Yale, Yale also undefeated at 2-0, winning against Stanford last game. As right now we are waiting for the opening draw. A little bit of history between these two teams. The Bulldogs defeated the Owls last season 15-6, but an all-time record, the Owls lead 9-2. Yale back on offense, back up to the top. Number 7, Vaughn having the ball to passing it out. Behind the net now for Yale. Yale passing inside, taking the shot, and the shot missed. That shot taken by Sky Carrasquillo. Yale regaining possession behind the net. As we had a bit of stoppage there. Yale still has possession, passing it back out to Lane. Lane at the top. Doing a spin move, passing to Vaughn. Vaughn drops the ball, turns it over. Temple now has possession. Great play by Maddie Barber. As now Temple pushing up tempo. As it steamed ahead. Temple pushing it up on offense now. Get a little physical behind the net. As a foul is called. Temple now behind the net. Mackenzie Roth with the ball. Passing it to the top. Taking a shot. Saved by Yale's goalkeeper. And now there's a scramble for the ball. Not sure who's going to pick this one up. Yale comes up with the possession there. Yale now pushing up tempo, cross midfield. Vaughn with the ball. Staying at the top. Passing it out. Behind the net now for Yale. Yale making moves, going inside, passing it back to the top. Passing it inside. Bit physical there. Taking a shot, but there was a foul called. So now it is a free possession for Yale. Got to be careful in these free possessions. You can either take a shot or pass it out. Fallon Vaughn on the free possession. As Vaughn takes the shot, and that's over the net as Temple regains possession. Great interception from Temple there. Maddie Barber on the interception. As now there's a stoppage. Long pass onto the other side of the field. Behind the net for Temple. Another stoppage. Trying to see what the call is here. Trying to wait to see what the definite call is. It was some sort of penalty, and now Temple is a man up for the moment. Both teams defensively doing a great job so far, as no score has yet to be seen, as we're 9 minutes and 40 seconds into the first quarter. Temple starting behind the net as another stoppage yet again. Okay, we're just going to replay it there. Going back on that shot from Fallon Vaughn on the free possession, she shot it over the net, and Temple now has possession thanks to that. As the refs are trying to sort something out here. As play resumes, starting behind the net. To the top. Maeve Tobin with the ball, passing it out. Inside, and score for Temple! Number 12, Belly Maestro Pietro. As the Owls here with 9 minutes in the first quarter go up 1-0. What a great score to start off this game for Temple. Maestro Pietro, that is her 11th goal on the season. Leading the team in goals, and now she's going to go back to the draw. Great play from Maestro Pietro there. As now we look back to midfield for the opening draw. We're back in play. Yale this time takes it. Passing it to number 7, Vaughn. Vaughn taking it upfield to the top. To Lane. Around the horn. Behind the net now for Yale. Temple with an early lead, 1-0. Passing it around behind the net yet again. To the top. Spin move going inside, taking the shot, but it's off. Yale still has possession. Going inside, and that is a score for Yale. Yale now tying this game up 1-1. Wasn't able to see who scored that one, so we're going to wait for the name. But Yale tying this game up after answering from that goal. Sky Carrasquillo scoring that one for Yale, making it a 1-1 tie game. For Carrasquillo, that is her 5th goal on the season. As we look towards midfield now, it's 1-1 tie game. And the draw after Yale score to tie this one up. As Temple wins this draw. Bringing it up for Temple, Maddie Barber. Passing out to Amelia Wright. Passing to Mackenzie Roth behind the net. Back out to Wright. A little bit of a bobble from Temple there, but they still have possession. To the top. Behind the net again for Temple. Passing inside. Looking for a score. That one blocked by Yale. By Yale's goalkeeper and caught. What a save. From number 32, Laura O'Connor. As Yale now pushing the tempo up to the other side of midfield. Back up to top for Yale. Vaughn with the ball. Behind the net for Yale. Key Clark passing it out. Vaughn yet again with the ball. Back out to the top. Behind the net for Yale. Back to the top. Looking to go inside. Scramble for the ball on the ground. And Temple does a great job getting the ball out close to the goal. As now they're looking to push up tempo. Temple now across midfield. Big pass. Pass to Maddie Barber, and now with the ball, Mackenzie Roth. Roth out to the top. Sancio with the ball now. Back out to Roth. Roth passing behind the net. Behind the net now for Temple. Looking at get something going inside. Back out to the top. Behind the net now for Temple. Back to the top. Maybe looking for a shot, but now going back up top. Passing back and forth between Metro Pietro and Tobin. Tobin out now to right. Behind the net for Temple. Looking to pass inside, but that gets deflected by a Yale defender, and Yale now has the ball. Picked up by Sky Carrasquillo. As now she's pushing up tempo across midfield. Yale now with the steam ahead. Behind the net now from Yale, passing out. Passing inside, pass missed, and now Temple picking up the ball, turning it over for Yale. Behind the net now is number 7 for Yale. Vaughn got the ball, but now Temple turning it right back over, got the ball again. Temple now trying to push tempo upfield. Crossing midfield. Maddie Barber with the ball. Passing out to top to Mastro Pietro. Mastro Pietro looking for someone open now. Behind the net for Temple. Bit of a bobble, but she keeps it. Right with the ball. Right behind the net now. Right, passing up top to Tobin. Tobin to Roth. Roth behind the net, passing inside, but intercepted by a Yale defender. Intercepted by Molly McGuckin as she's bringing up tempo past midfield now. Yale pushing ahead on offense behind the net. Yale passing it back up top now. Around the horn. Keeping it up top now, running inside. Behind the net again for Yale, trying to score, and she does. Score for Yale makes it 2-1. Taylor Everson on that score now. The turnover set up by Molly McGuckin and then finished by Taylor Everson, making it 2-1 Yale here with 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Timeout called. as Temple wants to talk about what happened. So far, a back and forth game with possessions. Winner here stays undefeated. The lone goal for Temple coming from Mastro Pietro, and the 2 goals from Yale coming from Carrasquillo and Taylor Everson. As we wait for the draw after this timeout. Mastro Pietro and Jenna Collington going for the draw. As we are back in play with 3 minutes left in the first quarter. This time, scramble for the ball as Temple ends up winning the draw. Temple now pushing it past midfield. Temple now bringing it across the net back to the top. To Mastro Pietro. Now to Tobin. Tobin to Mastro Pietro. Mastro Pietro passing behind the net to right. Back to the top for Temple. Tobin to Mastro Pietro. Back to Tobin. Back and forth from Mastro Pietro and Tobin now behind the net. Coming out. Mastro Pietro inside. A little bit of a push shot and a little bit of a spin pass from Yale, but Temple keeps possession. Kenzie Roth passing behind the net. Temple pushing inside. Temple pushing into a defender and falling down. But now Yale has possession. Yale now crossing midfield. With steam ahead for Yale. Slowing it down a bit. Behind the net for Yale. Passing it back to the top. Yale behind the net. Keeping it behind the net for Yale. Now passing it out, trying to push inside, looking for the shot, and they score again. Another goal for Yale, making it 3-1.
Yale goal scored by number 14, Jenna.
That one, number 14, Jenna Collignon. That's her 4th goal of the season. And now with less than a minute left here in the first quarter, Yale leads Temple 3-1. As we go back to midfield for the draw. The draw at midfield, won by Temple last time. As this time, Yale looked to have a stick on it, but Temple ends up recovering the ball. Temple with 50 seconds to work with. Keeping it up top. Passing it behind the net. Smother defense from Yale. Keeping it behind the net. For Temple. Temple trying to pass it inside, but that gets intercepted by a Yale defender. As I believe that one was intercepted by Yale's goalkeeper, Laura O'Connor. And that ends the first quarter. Yale up 3-1 against Temple. Welcome back to Horath Field as Yale leads this matchup 3-1 going into the second quarter. The one solo score from Temple so far is from Mastro Pietro. And Yale from Carrasquillo, Everson, and Collignon as we look towards the midfield draw. Temple winning the last two. As this time, Yale wins it. Temple player called for a penalty on the draw. As now Yale with possession of the ball as the sides of the field change. Yale running behind the net. Passing it to the top. Back to the top for Yale, running in. Now passing behind the net. Inside pass. The shot off net, but Yale still has possession. Behind the net for Yale now. Passing inside. Looking for shots with smothered defense from Temple. Flip shot, but a save from Temple's goalkeeper. Taylor Grohlman on the save is now Temple pushing upfield. Past midfield now into Yale's defensive area. Temple spinning back and forth, back out to the top now. Zavacki with the ball. Scratch that, sorry, Roth. Roth to Zavacki now. Zavacki passing inside. Temple regaining possession after the pass was a little bit off, but stayed back there. Pass inside, missed shot from Temple. Temple regains possession after the missed shot. Passing it back out to the top. Pass inside is not caught. There's a scramble for the ball now as Temple still has possession. Back out to the top. Mastro Pietro. Shot from Temple is saved. Save for the goalkeeper, O'Connor, as now Yale has possession. Yale bringing it up across midfield. Passing behind net for Yale. Yale waiting for more players to come up. Back to the top for Yale. On and passed to Lane. Lane. Pass behind the net for Yale. Yale passing it all around the horn. Top. Yale trying to create something happening. High pass, but still caught it behind the net. Back and forth behind the net. Passing it back out. Foul called. On Temple, so it's a free possession for Yale. Passing it behind the net on the free possession. And it is another goal for Yale. Taylor Everson. With, I believe, her second goal of the game.
goal scorer, number 17.
Taylor Everson with their second goal of the game. 4-1 now, Yale over Temple. Yet another goal coming off of the free possession for Yale. As this time it was passed behind the net and then scored from Everson. As now we look towards midfield for the draw. This time the draw, Yale winning it. Yale now looking to push upfield, long pass across midfield. Vaughn with the ball. Vaughn flipping it back. Collington. Back behind the net for Yale. Yale keeping it behind the net. Passing it out to the top. Passing it back inside. Taking the shot and scoring. Yale, back-to-back scores, 5-1 now. Timeout taken yet again.
Yale goal scored by number 5,
Sky Carrasquillo on her second goal of the game as well. Taylor Lane getting the assist. Back-to-back scores for Yale from Taylor Everson and now Sky Carrasquillo. Both having 2 on the game as we take a timeout. Temple's defense not looking the best at the moment. Letting up 5 goals in the first 2 quarters.
We must find strength in vulnerability and start prioritizing our mental health as much as our physical health.
Silence stigma in sport conversation.
Silence stigma in sport conversation. Silence stigma. By doing so, we can empower ourselves and other athletes to thrive.
Taking a look at Temple's last game. They only let up 2 goals in the first 2 quarters, so this time letting up 5 with only 1 score of offense. Temple needing to turn it around, but for Yale, Yale is off to a great start. As we wait for the draw after the goal from Yale. Yale winning the last draw. As this time Yale wins it again. Yale holding onto the ball a lot longer than Temple has this game. Now bringing to the top for Yale. Behind the net. Staying behind the net for Yale. Now passing it up. Bad pass over the head of Yale's player. But Yale keeps possession as they bring it back towards the top. Rushing in. Pass behind the net. Lane passing it now behind the net. Staying behind the net. Passing it back out. Back to the top for Yale. Temple on defense right now as Yale keeps it behind the net. Looking to run in, shot, missed. But Yale keeps possession, 19 on the shot clock. Passing it inside, great save by Temple's defensive goalkeeper. Taylor Grohlman on the great save. Yale still having possession behind the net as we have a stoppage from the refs. And we play on. Yale behind the net. And another stoppage from the refs. And it looks like a free possession for Yale. Number 8, Chloe Canahan with the ball. Conahan takes the shot and a great save from Temple's goalkeeper. Taylor Grohlman with another save on this defensive possession. As now Temple looking to try to gain a little momentum in this one. Passes to Tobin. Tobin bringing it up past midfield into Yale territory. Behind the net for Temple. Kicking it back out. Passing towards the top. Right, with the ball. Temple needs something to happen. Right. At the top. Back to Roth. Roth turns the ball over. And now Yale gains possession. Great defense from Fallon Vaughn to get the ball and strip it away from Roth. As now Yale pushing up the field towards Temple's side. Gone on with the ball. Behind the net for Yale. Keeping it behind the net. To the top. Inside. Great save from Temple's goalkeeper yet again. Taylor Grohlman with yet another great save. Back towards the top for Yale. Behind the net. Passed inside. Gets bobbled, and now the ball is turned over. Temple has possession now. Smothered defense right now from Yale to try to get to the other side of the field and stopping Temple as they intentionally foul her. They intentionally foul Maddie Barber, who brings it up past midfield. Couple of great saves from Taylor Grohlman today. They give up 5 goals, but the last couple defensive possessions, she did a great job. As now Temple has possession in Yale's territory. The Owls looking to try to gain a little momentum as we're in the second quarter with less than 6 minutes to go. Temple up top. Roth. Back to Mastro Pietro. To King. Shot off target. I think it hit the goalpost as it rolls out of bounds, which makes it Yale's possession. So shot off target from Temple, as now Yale looking to bring it up. foul called on Temple. That was Jordan Messina. The foul was called on. Given a yellow card. Sorry, not on Jordan Messina. That was on Julie Schickling. As now Yale, with possession in Temple's territory, behind the net. Passing it around the horn. Behind the net for Yale. Yale keeping it behind the net, passing it out. Looking for a shot inside, but there is a foul called. And it is another free possession for Yale. Yale scoring a couple goals off of this. As they take the shot, great save from Temple. As now there's a scramble for the ball. Taylor Grolman with another great save. As now the ball scrambling all the way towards midfield. Yale comes up with this one. As after that free possession, Yale still controls the ball. Back to the top for Yale. Yale pushing it behind the net, inside. And it looked like a missed shot, but then a foul on the shot. As Yale gets another free possession. Taylor Everson with this free possession. She has 2 goals already today. As she takes the shot. And I believe it was saved by Grolman yet again. But Yale recovers. Back to the top for Yale. Yale holding on to the ball for a very long time. Temple has to get something going. Force a turnover. As Yale pushes behind the net. Staying behind the net, rotating. As another foul was called. And yet again, it's another free possession for Yale. Taking the shot. Not sure what happened there. I heard a buzzer. Pretty sure it was a save for Taylor Grolman. But Yale still has possession, holding on the ball for a very, very long time. As we're in the second quarter with 3 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. Yale pushing it inside, and they eventually score. You hold on for the ball for that long, and you're eventually going to score. Yale now 6-1 here in the second quarter with 3 minutes and 15 seconds left to play. Jenna Calignon on that score. Jenna Caligno now has 2 scores on the game now, along with Carrasquillo and Everson. So it's 6-1 Yale as we look towards the mid-draw. All the momentum sucked away from Temple now, as that was a long possession for Yale. The mid-draw, scrambling for it. And there's some sort of foul called, and now Yale has possession yet again. The ball staying on Temple's defensive side a lot so far in this game, especially in this quarter. As Yale just keeps holding on. Back behind the net for Yale. Looking to pass inside. Bad pass, but Yale still regains possession. As passing it to the top now. Bad pass from Yale. And yet they still regain possession as there's a foul called on Temple. Temple on defense today not looking too great as they're fouling a lot and letting Yale keep possession for a very, very long time. As we are in the second quarter with a little over 2 minutes to go. Yale back to the top. Yale just passing it around. Back behind the net. Staying behind the net for Yale. Back and forth behind the net. Passing it out. To the top now. Lane now with the ball. Vaughn. Vaughn passing it behind the net. Back out to Vaughn. Vaughn looking to take a shot. She runs in. And it is an offensive foul this time on Yale. So now Temple has possession. Great job from taking the charge. As now Temple needs a little bit of momentum to try to end the second quarter with only 1 minute and 10 seconds left. Mastro Pietro now taking it up for Temple. If you want some momentum to change in this game, you want to give it to her. Temple now with 35 seconds left to go. Miss pass, and now Yale has the ball. Turnover for Temple. And that is gotta go. 5 seconds left. And that is gonna end the half. Temple fans' hearts dropped when they saw that turnover, but that did not lead to anything, as Yale leads this one at halftime 6-1. Welcome back to Yale versus Temple as Yale is up 6-1 against Temple heading into the second half. A dominant first half from Yale as they held the ball for a very, very long time. As we look for the draw happening here to start the half. The draw this time won by Yale yet again. Temple needs a little bit of momentum coming into the second half as they were sucked from it all game. Yale scoring the ball has just been on fire, so let's see if Temple defensively can get something going. Yale back to the top now. It's getting a bit more windy out. My papers are flying everywhere. Behind the net for Yale. Missed shot from Yale. As Yale regains possession after that missed shot. That's been the story all game. Yale shot after shot missing, but yet regaining possession. Spin move from Yale. Passing it behind the net. Yale now passing it to the top, pushing in, and a foul called. Another free possession for Yale to start out the second half. Going for the shot, missed. As now Temple finally has possession of the ball. First time having possession in this half. Temple bringing it up. Tobin with the ball. A little bit of shove there from Yale's defender. As now Mastro Pietro with the ball passing it to right. Right to Mastro Pietro. Mastro Pietro has the lone goal for Temple in this game so far. Right, moving in. Passing it out. Yale's defense holding up strong today. Tobin with the ball. Tobin passing behind the net. Roth with the ball. Roth passing it back out to Tobin. Tobin, bad pass to Mastro Pietro, and that's going to be a turnover for Tobin. Not what you need when you're Temple here down 5. As Yale now pushing it up past midfield. Cross-field pass. Wasn't clean, but Yale still has possession. Passing up into Temple territory. Yale behind the net. Passing it to Lane. Lane back to the top for Vaughn. Vaughn back to Lane. Lane back to Vaughn. Shot. And that ball gets hit in. Another score for Yale, 7-1 here in the third quarter. It looked like Temple's defender might have accidentally hit that in for an own goal. But it's now 7-1 for Yale. Temple not having a good start here in the second half. They needed some momentum, but Yale looked to take it all away yet again. That goal officially scored to Fallon Vaughn, who now has her first goal of the game. For the opening draw. Very physical around midfield as now Yale has possession, so winning yet another draw. And Temple looks to be outmatched so far here. Yale behind the net. Kicking it out to the top to Lane. Lane pushing inside, passing it back out to the top. Running around, passing behind the net. And yet another foul for Temple on defense. Yale all game has been holding on to that ball. And when pushing in, Temple's just been fouling. As Yale now with possession behind the net. Back behind the net for Yale. Keeping it around behind the net. Taylor Everson with the ball. She has 2 goals on the day. As back out to Lane. Lane passing inside. Shot missed. Shot missed from Yale. Now Temple has possession. Maddie Barber bringing it up. Tight defense makes someone fall. Hit her with a stutter step and she fell. What a great move from Maddie Barber. Now it's Tobin with the ball, passing it back out. Temple needs a score here to try to stay competitive in this game. Tight defense from Yale all game. And a missed pass for Temple that ends up rolling out of bounds. Temple mistake after mistake in this game. Is now Yale going on offense. To the top. Vaughn passed it to Everson. Everson now with the ball, passing behind the net. And great from Temple's goalkeeper to intercept that pass and hit it down. But yet it is still Yale's ball. Yale passing it now to the top. To Lane. Behind the net for Yale. Looking to pass inside. And another score for Yale. 8-1 is now your score. Everson with her 3rd goal of the game. What a game for her. Taylor Everson putting on a masterclass here in Philly. As now with a little under 8 minutes to go, it's 8-1 Yale. The lone goal for Temple coming from Mastro Pietro. And the goals totaling for 8. Totaling the 8 for Yale. Taylor Everson with 3. Jenna Collignon with 2. Sky Karaskio with 2. And Fallon Vaughn with 1. So if you're Temple here in this game, you got to try to score as quick as possible now. Try to gain any momentum that might be left still on that team. As Temple bringing in someone else to do the draw, number 18, Sabrina Martin, taking over for Mastro Pietro there. And for Yale, Sky Karaskio on it. Draw here, going towards Yale, but a great defensive play from Temple to gain possession. Katie Shallow came in with a big hook to knock that ball out of Yale's stick. And now Temple has possession. Temple now needing some offense. As a double team comes out from Yale. Temple back out top. Passing close inside. Temple now triple teaming shot, missed. Could have been a pass. But Temple still has possession. A lot of new subs for Temple. As they look to pass inside, the ball is not caught, and it goes flying in the air. And now it is Yale's ball, so Temple turns the ball over yet again. And this is not a fun one to watch if you are a Temple fan so far. The wind picking up here. It's getting even chillier out. As Yale now has possession. Yale crossing midfield into Temple's side of the field. Yale playing a bit of keep away here now. Passing it to Everson. To Lane. Yale behind the net to Everson. Yale inside. Temple swarmed. And yet Yale still came up with the ball after 3 defenders went to go swarm. And a foul was called on Temple. Another free possession for Yale as she decides to kick it out. Behind the net now for Yale. Foul called. And now another free possession. Vaughn on the free possession. Saved by the goalkeeper. Taylor Grohlman on the save from the free possession. Shot by Vaughn. As now Temple looking to push it up. Maddie Barber bringing it up for Temple into Yale territory. Right, passing it behind the net. Back out to right. To the top for Temple. Yale's defense has been great all day. Let's see if Temple can somehow crack it and put a dent into this 8-1 deficit. Mastro Pietro passing to Roth to the top. Back to Mastro Pietro. Back to Roth at the top. This double team defense from Yale has been doing good all game. Back to the top to right. As that ball is turned over yet again for Temple. Another turnover for Temple, and Yale gains possession. Yale's defense too good against Temple's offense today. Yale now pushing it up past midfield. Into Temple territory now. Vaughn with the ball. To Karaskio. To Cognon. To Karaskio. To Vaughn. To Lane. To inside. Shot and score for Yale. Another score for Yale. 9-1 now. Here in the third quarter with a little under 4 minutes to go.
Yale goal scored by number 5,
Sky Karaskio with her third goal of the game. And she matches Taylor Everson with her third goal of the game as well. Temple just can't get anything going here against Yale's defense. And when Yale has the ball, they score. On the assist, Chloe Conahan. As now back to midfield for the draw. The draw here after the 9th goal of the game for Yale. No clear possession as it ends up going out of bounds. And Yale has possession yet again. Here in the third quarter with 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go, Yale is up 9-1. As a shove coming from a Temple defender gets called a foul. Taylor Monkman on the foul there. A little bit of frustration maybe for Temple. As now Yale with possession. Karaskio passing it behind the net. To Lane. Lane passing it to the top to Vaughn. Vaughn spinning around. Trying to get past the defender. Vaughn inside. Vaughn misses the shot, but Yale still has possession. As another foul is called. Temple has 9 fouls on the day today. As that free possession ends up in another goal for Yale. Yale tallying on another goal, 10-1 here in the third quarter with a little over 2 minutes to go. This time the goal scored by Taylor Lane, number 12. As Yale keeps piling it on Temple. Yale holding a lot of possession today, and every single time they end up going on offense, Temple fouling, a lot of goals scored off of free possessions. As we look towards the draw, Yale winning yet another draw. As the wind is picking up and my papers are flying everywhere. Temple now with possession. Passing it to Barber. Barber going to Yale's side of the field. Temple just looking for anything at this point. Passing it behind the net. Temple pass was batted down. Fight for the ball now. Temple regains possession. Passing it towards the middle. Shot and a great save from Yale's goalkeeper. Laura O'Connor with the save. It was a one-on-one opportunity, it looked like. And O'Connor wins that one-on-one with the save. As now Temple with possession brings up the ball. Back to the top for Tobin. Tobin behind the net. Passes. Shot and score! Temple's second goal of the game comes with in the third quarter with 34 seconds left. This time by number 22, Emily Liberio, as Temple finally gets their second goal of the game. Emily Liberia, her third goal of the season, and that cuts into this deficit and only makes it an eight goal game. Still a ways to go, but maybe Temple can rack up some momentum after that goal. As Yale wins that draw. Yale now on Temple's side of the field. As Temple regains possession, running up the field now. A little bit of momentum and fire coming from Temple's sideline bench, right with the shot, and it's saved from Yale. And that is going to end the third quarter here, as the score going into the fourth is going to be 10-2 Yale. Welcome back to the fourth quarter as Yale is up 10-2. A blowout so far here in this one, but Temple has some momentum going into this fourth quarter as they scored last quarter. As this draw goes towards Yale's side. Yale with possession now, running into Temple territory. Yale's goal now, keep the ball away from Temple. They've been doing that all game already, though, with holding onto the ball for a very long time. Way longer than Temple has. As Yale with possession here, behind the net, passing it inside. Great save from Temple's goalkeeper. Yale still has possession. Passing it around the horn now to the top. To Vaughn. Vaughn passing it out. Back to Vaughn. Wind really picking up now. It's getting even colder out. As Yale running behind the net. Back to the top. Passing inside. Yale with possession. Great block from a Temple defender. But Yale still has possession. Temple not able to do anything on any of these opportunities. A great interception from Temple, though. Intercepting that pass. Intercepting that pass was Katie Shallow. As now, bit of a juggle there, but Temple now trying to get any offense going. Mastro Pietro with the ball. Passing towards the middle of the field. Wright's able to pick that one back up. Behind the net now for Temple. Back out to Wright. Wright to the top. Inside. And that is a foul against Yale, which is going to be their first foul of the day. First foul of the day for Yale here as Temple gets their first free possession, going for the shot, and the shot is missed. Yale now with possession after that missed shot from Temple. Long pass across the field gets intercepted by Temple. Temple now bringing it up. Right with the ball. Back out to the top for Temple. Martin passing to Tobin behind the net. Passing inside to Wright, and Wright scores! That score from Wright makes it 10-3 Yale now. But maybe a little bit of momentum from Temple as in the fourth quarter with 11:29 left, Temple is able to score. Assisted by Emily Liberio, first of the season for her. So maybe a little bit of momentum now for Temple after that goal, as it cuts the lead down to 7. Still a far way to go. We look towards the draw now at midfield. Yale winning the draw here as they are pushing quickly up towards Temple's side of the field. Yale slowing down a bit now, waiting for everyone to get there. Yale behind the net. Lane passing it to the top. Carrasquillo looking for someone open. Passing it behind the net. Inside, and she dunks it on her. Another goal for Yale, 11-3, and that was fun to watch. The ball was lifted up into the air, pass, and she kind of slammed it down into the net. As here in the fourth quarter, Yale, yet again, taking the momentum away from Temple, scores. Fallon Vaughn with yet another goal. Her second goal of the game. And this time assisted by Carrasquillo. Bree Carrasquillo this time. Temple scoring a goal, and then Yale answering right back to jump the lead back up to 8. The draw at midfield now. Yale, back-to-back draw wins. As Lane pushes it up to Vaughn, who just scored that goal. Lane to Carrasquillo. Carrasquillo to Lane. Behind the net for Yale. That seems to be their offense today. Staying around behind the net, waiting for someone to cut inside. Temple's defense swarming inside now. And a foul is called. Another free possession here for Yale. False start here for Temple, so we'll do it again. Congnon takes the shot, saved by Grolman. Yale regains possession, though. As now Carrasquillo passing. Behind the net for Yale. To Lane. Lane back to the top. Carrasquillo running in. Temple defender ends up on the ground, but Temple now has possession. Temple now with possession, passing midfield. Running into Yale territory. Right with the ball. Passing it to Mastro Pietro. Passing to the top for Temple. To Tobin. Pass now back to the top. Martin gets fouled. So here in the fourth quarter with 8 minutes and 30 seconds left to go, Temple trying to get something going on offense as that shot was missed by Temple, but recovered. Back to the top for Temple. Martin going in, passing back out to Mastro Pietro. And it's another free possession here for Temple. Mastro Pietro taking the shot, and she scores! Mastro Pietro with her second goal of the game. She does lead the team with goals on the season and as well as in the game, as that pushes Temple to now 4, Yale 11. Cutting the lead back down to 7. Last time Temple cut the lead down to 7, Yale came back and scored immediately. But maybe some momentum from Temple can hopefully see if they can keep that momentum to hopefully score more. Yale's been dominating this one, but Mastro Pietro has something to say with that, with a goal. As we look towards the opening draw after that goal. This one won by Temple. Temple pushing it up. Maddie Barber passing it now behind the net for Temple. To the top for Martin. A little bit of a bad pass from Martin to Tobin, but Tobin's able to recover that one. Temple now passing back to the top to Tobin. Temple back to the top to Mastro Pietro. Cutting inside, shot, and scores! Amelia Wright with the goal. Back-to-back goals here for Temple. Amelia Wright with her second goal of the game. As now Temple cutting the lead down to 6 as Yale takes a timeout. It's 11-5 Yale now. But Temple now has all momentum. That goal by Amelia Wright was assisted by Belle Mastro Pietro. Both now having 2 goals in this game. Yale's 11 goals coming 3 from Carrasquillo, 3 from Everson, 2 from Vaughn and Collington, and 1 coming from Lane. And Temple's 5 goals, 2 coming from Amelia Wright, 2 from Belle Mastro Pietro, and 1 from Emily Liberio. Yale's been on top all game, but Temple, a little bit of momentum after the back-to-back goals here in the fourth quarter. 7 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. As we wait for the draw after this timeout. The opening draw now after the back-to-back goals from Temple. As Temple wins another draw. Temple now on Yale's side of the field. As Temple slowly, methodically coming up the field. Mastro Pietro runs in, back to the top for Temple. And it's a foul for Yale, so it's a free possession for Temple here. On the free possession. And it is saved by Yale's goalkeeper. Yale now with possession, trying to get out of their own territory. Press defense here from Temple's defenders. Crossing midfield, crossing into Yale territory now. As Yale now has possession behind Temple's net. Yale now tossing it around. Back to the top for Yale. Vaughn to Lane. Lane behind the net now. Back to the top for Yale. Vaughn passing it inside. That ball inside, scrambling for it. Yale comes up with the possession and scores. Yale scoring yet again. 12-5 now for Yale. Temple building a little momentum, scoring 2 goals, but now Yale takes all that momentum out, and it's now 12-5. That's been the story of the game lately. This time by number 23, Bree Carrasquillo, scoring that goal to extend the lead to 7. Coming into this game, we were looking at Katie Shallow and potentially how she could break the record for most career-caused turnovers in Temple history. And she has done it, folks. Katie Shallow, who has 3 caused turnovers so far in this game, now leads all of Temple history, all of Temple program history in caused turnovers. So congratulations to Katie Shallow, who is now the all-time program leader for career-caused turnovers. Fortunately, hard to celebrate something like that when you're down by 7, but nonetheless, still a great career achievement for her, and congratulations. As here in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes and 37 seconds left to go, we look towards midfield for the draw. Looking forward ahead to Temple's schedule. They face UPenn this upcoming Wednesday here at Haworth Field. So Temple looking forward to that one now. As here in the draw, Temple comes out with it. Mastro Pietro picking up tempo. Oh, bad pass, though. Temple still able to recover, as they are now on Yale's side of territory. Temple now to the top to Tobin. Behind the net for Temple. Scramble behind the net as there is a foul called, and that will turn the ball over to Yale. And looking forward on Yale's schedule, they will be facing Princeton next Saturday. So a week for Yale for their next game. As Temple coming up this Wednesday facing UPenn here at home yet again. As Yale now on Temple's side of the field. Playing a little keep away. 4 minutes left here to go in the fourth quarter. Behind the net for Yale. Back to the top for Yale. Just passing it all around now for Yale. Make sure Temple does not have any more possession. Behind the net for Yale. Staying behind the net. Shot attempt and score for Yale. Another goal for Yale, making it 13-5. Another alley-oop slam dunk kind of shot. Chloe Cunahan on that one. Assisted by Taylor Lane. Pushes the score back up to 8. Dominating performance from Yale today. As the draw happens at midfield. Temple winning this one, but it's smacked by Lane. And now Yale has possession. Temple winning that draw, but Lane comes in and smacks it out of the Temple player's hands. And now Yale has possession. Yale with that last score, really putting the score up a little bit. No need to score when you're up by 8, but trying to stat pad a little bit. Yale with possession behind the net. Emerson. Back to the top for Yale. Vaughn. And another foul on Temple. Temple up to 15 team fouls. Compared to Yale's 1. Turnover now for Temple. Temple now having the ball. Bringing it up towards midfield. Temple, a steam ahead on Yale's side of the field. Passing it back to the top now. Pass to Mastro Pietro, but unfortunately she drops it. She drops it. Yale recovers the ball, and then there's a big hit on the field. Here in the fourth quarter with 1:37 to go. Yale up 13-5. There's a stoppage because there's a big hit. But now we play on. As Yale now has the ball behind the net. Yale now playing keep away. As no one is going inside. They're just holding on to the ball now. Back behind the net for Yale. Yale just passing it back and forth now. Here at the top for Vaughn. Less than a minute left to play. The story for Yale all game. Holding onto the ball. Shot and save from Temple. Taylor Grallman not allowing Yale to have one more score before it ends. As Temple maybe trying to push up, trying to get one last goal off. Mestro Pietro passing it inside. Shot and save. The shot from Tobin came in like a rocket, but Yale's goalkeeper with a nice defensive play to save it. As the clock now ticks down. And that is your game. Yale 13, Temple 5. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I've been your host, Jake Holzhauer, and enjoy the rest of your Saturday.